Hi guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this tutorial we're going to be decorating 3 black, gold and white themed cakes. I've used doughy sprinkles to decorate these cakes, and that came in a 6mm bowl I believe, and little 2 to 3mm sprinkles. For the very first cake we're going to be decorating with a 1mm tip and a rustic swiped look. Whenever I decorate mini cakes I like to use 4-inch cakes. I bake 2 of them, cut them in half and then stack them all together to make a 4.5 to 5-inch tall cake. Fill in with American buttercream. The recipe for the buttercream will be in the eye icon up top or in the description box below. You'll notice that my buttercream is super pale. The reason it is because I do half butter and half vegetable shortening, and it's the vegetable shortening that gives it that nice creamy pale look and texture. Smooth it out with your bench scraper. You can find these on my website rosiesdessertspot.com. Clear up the top and then pop it into the fridge to set completely. Once it's nice and set, go on with your last layer of frosting. I've used black buttercream to decorate. I'm starting at the top and then filling in towards the bottom. To create a black frosting, I mix in dark chocolate ganache with my buttercream so it gets nice and dark from that chocolate, and then I add in gel food color in black the rest of the way. Now I'm using a fake cake here. I don't know if you guys can tell, it's actually kind of dancing around. You can stick it to, if you're decorating a fake cake, stick it to your turntable with tape so it doesn't move around so much. Smooth it down and then take a spatula. I've used my small spatula and create little swipes starting from the bottom, making your way up to the top. You could also use the back of a teaspoon for this and it'll give you the pretty much exact same effect. Once you've reached the top, bring that lip of frosting to the center and then clean up your cake board because your sprinkles will stick to any frosting on your cake board. And then take your sprinkles and just apply them to the base, cupping your hand with the sprinkles in there and just pressing firmly against your frosting. It's a good idea not to put your cake into the fridge at this point, otherwise your frosting will set and the sprinkles simply will not stick. Once you have the first layer at the very bottom, grab some of those sprinkles and kind of disperse them a little less tightly towards the center of the cake. Notice my sprinkles are sitting in a bowl with a tissue paper. That just stops the sprinkles from bouncing against the hard surface and ending up all over my counter. Just a little tip there. Once you're happy with your sprinkles, grab the larger ones and just place them manually wherever you think looks nice. I clustered them a little bit more tightly towards the bottom and I made them a little more random towards the middle and top. Let that set in the fridge, and in the meantime take some strawberry halves and dip them into some melted dark chocolate. In my tutorials I always tend to use dark chocolate by Nestle. It's compound chocolate, doesn't need to be tempered, really easy to use, and I'm pretty sure you can find it at all good grocers like Woolworths and Coles and whatnot. Shake off any excess chocolate and then dip it straight away into your sprinkles and transfer to a baking paper sheet to dry off completely. You can pop them into the fridge if you like, just to speed up that drying process as well. It was a nice cold day in Melbourne, so there was no need for me to do that. Using a 1mm tip, I'm creating star dollops at the top of my cake, and I'm letting my piping tip sit there for a little while so it kind of builds up some height. Into the center of each dollop, add in your strawberries. And then pipe in between to close off that ring. You can add on a few more sprinkles at the very top if you like, maybe those large gold beads. For the second cake, it's going to be pretty much the same, but with a smooth finish and the sprinkles starting at the very top instead. I have a cake here that I have completely taken off the frosting and now we're recoating it. So for you guys, it's just a basic crumb coat again, but in black. If I'm creating a final layer of frosting in black, then I want to make sure that the crumb coat is also the same color as the frosting. It doesn't matter too much. You saw in the first cake example, it was a white crumb coat and then black on top. But if you can make them both the same color, even better. Fill in any pockets as you go and smooth it out. Bring that lip of frosting to the center. And as mentioned before, create your final layer of frosting. But this time we are not going to be putting it into the fridge. We are going to go straight on with our sprinkles. I've started at the very top, sprinkling all the surface on top, and then throwing the sprinkles onto the cake to stick. Using the same concept as before, grabbing a whole bunch of sprinkles, cupping it between your palm, and then pressing it gently into the frosting. I've added a few more sprinkles at the very top and I'm pushing it to meet the edge. If you have anything threatening to catch fire in the background, make sure you address that, and then continue to sprinkle your cake. I've got little gold beads, just pressing them wherever I see fit. Again, more condensed at the top and then more dispersed towards the bottom. And that is our second cake done. For our third cake, this one is super duper easy. We're basically just going to be using a 1M piping tip to create these kind of bars of shell. Using white frosting for this, so my cake is crumb coated in white, finished off in white. And this time we're going to let our frosting set completely before we add on any decorations. Smoothing it down, bring the lip of frosting to the center, and
then pop it into the fridge for at least 20 minutes to set. I've got a tall scraper and a triangle ruler, and the triangle ruler is guiding my scraper to form those super straight lines up my cake. Once you go all around, take that 1M piping tip and starting at the very bottom, create small tight circles overlapping the previous circle to create this really cool shell pattern. You can use a different piping tip instead if you find that this is a little bit too big. A number 32 piping tip would work beautifully here as well. And it just gives it this really nice, elegant look. Imagine the whole cake covered like that without spaces in between. But I just thought I'd try this design anyway. Onto those, I am tossing on some sprinkles. And they're not sticking to the white section because I made sure to set that in the fridge, and that's why we can kind of isolate them to the black frosting. On go the larger pearls, just dispersed here and there randomly. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed these cakes and give them a go. If you do, hashtag Rosie's Dessert Spot so I can see your awesome creations as well. Feel free to subscribe for more videos and we'll catch you again in the next one.
I've used 2 cakes here in fill in with American buttercream. The recipe for the buttercream will be in. It's a good idea not. It's a good idea not to put your cake into the fridge at this point, otherwise your frosting will set and the sprinkles simply will not stick where that second cake shows. Ready? Go.